In this video, I will be talking about my experience with the community of Whitney Ranch. And at the end of it, I will give you my pros and cons of this community in my professional, personal opinion. So if you are thinking about relocating to a community in the Henderson area, or just want to know more about this area, watch this video to the end. When I first moved to Las Vegas, I had no idea what Whitney Ranch was. And I honestly really didn't care to know where it was because, like a lot of people that first move here, they hear rumors and hearsay about different parts of the city. And these are often misguided and or just ignorant people that don't know what they're talking about. This is mostly in part because Las Vegas and Henderson, in my opinion, is in its toddler stage in its development into an actual metropolis. Instead of just a tourist destination, most of the people that I first meet here are transplants like myself and never really experienced living in the community of Whitney Ranch. Now, Whitney Ranch is on the east side of Las Vegas, and there are some parts of the east side that are not very desirable. So hearsay and rumors are only natural. It's the nature of human beings. Things get passed on. Whitney Ranch is on the east side, so they must think it's not a good area. I thought the same thing until I jumped into the deep end of my real estate career and had to start exploring every neighborhood for myself. In order for me to be the best I can be in the field, I need to know all the niche markets in the area. And also because I learned that the hard way, not to trust anyone's word 100% until you've experienced it yourself. Now, some of you might be thinking Las Vegas, Henderson in its toddler stage as a city. Let me explain. If you look at major cities and when they started, like New York started in 1624, Boston in 1630. Okay, so you're saying those are on the East Coast and that's where America started. Okay, I get that. Well, let's look at the West Coast major cities. You got Los Angeles, started in 1781, San Francisco, 1776, Seattle, 1851, and Portland, 1845, and then you got Houston in 1836. Las Vegas wasn't founded until 1905, and was in the middle of the desert. Most of those are cities I mentioned before are around ports. I can keep going with this, and when industry started compared to other cities, but I won't. I'll just share my experience. When I started coming here in 2000, yes, I just dated myself, but that's okay. Wisdom comes with time and experience. Let's just say I am wiser than I look. When I started coming here, the 215 freeway ended at Rainbow from Henderson. And I never went to Henderson, or Hendertucky as they call it, which is now Cadence and on the way to Lake Las Vegas, because there was nothing out there but a landfill and old Water Street, which is kind of dilapidated, which is definitely not anymore. The golf courses at Lake Las Vegas had just been finished, and they were starting to finish a handful of homes on the South Shore when I first started coming here in 2000. Summerlin, Sky Canyon, Providence, Mountain's Edge, Southern Highlands didn't exist. Well, they might have existed, but they were just in its infancy, like just plots of land. What is now considered horse properties, because there's not such a thing as rural areas in Las Vegas or Henderson anymore. As well, there was not a single professional sports team. We didn't start getting those until the last decade. So now I hope you understand what I mean when I say Las Vegas and Henderson are in its toddler stage and growing. The establishment of the town, now known as Whitney, dates back to 1942 when it was officially founded and given defined borders by the Clark County Commission. In 1958, following a petition that garnered the support of nearly all its residents, the town was renamed East Las Vegas. However, this name change was reversed in 1993 to the town is reverted to its original name, Whitney. Whitney Ranch was subsequently developed as a master planned residential community within the city, placing a significant emphasis on development of retail spaces. This is mainly a part of the flight path to Harry Reid International Airport. If you're going to live in the middle of Whitney Ranch, expect to be soothed or annoyed by the noise of the commercial jetliners making their final descent. And if you were to follow the flight path, you will notice that most, actually all it is commercial buildings, varying from manufacturing, offices, and retail. Starting from Whitney Mesa Natural Preserve Park and Recreation Area, all the way to the airport. Down that whole strip, you're gonna find nothing but commercial buildings. In between Sunset and Russell that run east to west, parallel each other. So in the middle of that, all you have is commercial dense population. Some of the most notable amenities and retail areas in Whitney Ranch is the Galleria Mall at Sunset. This area is going to have all your department stores like Costco, Home Depot, Target, and a plethora of eateries and restaurants. The diversity in the eateries and grocery stores are abundant in this community. You also have Sunset Station Casino with all the neighboring casino amenities like the bowling alley, movie theater. Residing on the border of Whitney Ranch and is actually in Green Valley, I'd say it's right there on the border. They're adjacent neighborhoods, is Ethel M's Chocolate Botanical and Cactus Gardens, which is an absolutely amazing place. And I stumbled upon this during my holiday special video of things to do in Las Vegas during the holidays. If you haven't seen that yet and you live here and you want to know what's going on in the holidays next year, watch that video. First of all, there's chocolate is downright decadent. And a little spendy, but well worth every penny. Ethel M's has hands down the best hot chocolate I have ever had. And their cactus gardens are educational and a must-see. This is a Henderson institution that was established in 1981. And for some reason, living here for 4 years, I never heard about this place until I did that video for the holidays. And that's kind of a shame because it's definitely a community gem. And if you live here, you should definitely go check it out. Now let's talk parks and recreation. In the community, living here for the past 4 years, I would always drive down the 95, which turns into the 515 highway going south. And I look over to the west and see a mesa. Now it's not the prettiest sight, and I always wondered what it was. Then I met a local here that grew up here, and she knew my fondness for exploring and hiking and asked me if I've ever been to Whitney Mesa Nature Preserve or Whitney Mesa Park, because it all connects. Because it all connects by hiking trails, both paved and unpaved. I've never been, so I said no. So she took me, and let me tell you, I was smitten by this place. Another wonder in my city that is now one of my favorite places in my city, or cities, due to Las Vegas being Las Vegas and Henderson. Tomato, tomato. So to think of the mesa, it's like a hand that sits elevated over Whitney Ranch neighborhood, and the east part of Henderson with jetties that go out that have amazing vantage points. This place is hands down the best place to watch the sunrise. And if you like watching planes fly overhead, it's like you can jump up and touch them because the mesa is elevated so the planes go right above you. Before I get all fanboy over this, let me tell you there are also like 5 other parks in Whitney Ranch Community. If you don't know me yet, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Shane Judge. I'm a real estate advisor, your go-to for all things real estate. I specialize in helping people like you relocate, buy, sell, and invest in the vibrant Las Vegas and Henderson market. So if you got your eyes set on the greater Las Vegas area, don't hesitate to get in touch with me using the contact information in the details below. While you're here, go ahead and smash that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss out when I drop a brand new video. With that said, let's continue. Since my first hike at Whitney Ranch Park, I have probably ran, hiked, and walked this amazing mesa 10 times, each time discovering something new and interesting about it. The first time I hiked it, I noticed the jetties that overlook the surrounding communities and the way the sunset casted hues, the purples, the pink, the oranges over the mountains to the east, making for a picturesque scene. Now, the very next day, I went back because the person I was with said this is the best sunrise in Las Vegas. And it was one of the best I've experienced in my community. As the sun rose over the mountains to the east, it was beautiful. The next time I went, I noticed the parks beneath it, and all the trails connected it, and the community center. They had an archery park and a BMX track that the jetties overlooked. It was pretty awesome. The next time I went, I sat and watched a baseball game because one of the jetty vistas overlooks a baseball complex, and it had all his lights on, and it was just cool to watch from that vantage point. And every time I went back, I discovered something new. Next time I went back, I looked around and I noticed the abundance of schools that surrounded it. After finally doing a full route around the mesa top and bottom, I noticed that all the schools around it, there must have been like 5 or 6 that I could visually see and identify. So I dug a little deeper. I also found a secret squirrel basketball court right there in that park, or next to it, where the lights stay on 24 hours. And that basketball court brought me back to when I was a kid playing late night ball with my friends at the local YMCA. So it was brought back a lot of memories. But I don't think I'm going to tell anyone about its location because it's mine now. Whitney Ranch educational institutions that are in this community are the most abundant that I have experienced firsthand in my short tenure here in Las Vegas and Henderson. There are 19 schools that are encompass Whitney Ranch community. They're not exactly in the community, but they're within a 10-minute drive. From higher education institutions such as Roseman University, Las Vegas Flight Academy, to private schools like Green Valley Christian School, American Heritage Academy, and public schools like Advanced Technologies Academy and Harriet Treem Elementary, to name a few. If you look at the map, educational institutions are abundant in this community, to say the least. This community is home to 16 diverse places of worship, representing various denominations within the Whitney Ranch area. In the area itself, there's 7 worship centers, and the remaining are conveniently located within a 10-minute drive. Now let's get into my favorite part of these videos, the real estate in Whitney Ranch. As one of the more established master plan communities in Henderson, it presents a diverse array of architectural styles and pricing options, distinguishing it from many of the city's newer areas. This neighborhood is known for its unique character, offering a variety of home designs that stand out from the more uniform styles seen in adjacent areas. The homes in Whitney Ranch, primarily built in the 80s and 90s, predominantly feature the Spanish colonial style architecture, complete with brick driveways and appealing desert landscaping. The maturity of this community offers a unique diversity with luxury community enclaves that you'll find in little pockets of this community to single-family tract home neighborhoods, townhomes, and condos. The community is recognized for providing excellent amenities compared to those more sought-after neighborhoods like Green Valley Ranch, but at a more accessible price point. Townhouses in Whitney Ranch have a median price of $315,000, with some available in the mid-200s. Single-family homes that have been sold in the last year vary in prices from the low 300s to up to $2 million, with a median selling price around $476,000, and most include 2 or 3 car garages. Currently on the market, there are 57 properties listed in this community. On the luxury side, there is a $2.9 million estate that features 5,500 plus square feet of living space and a little over a half-acre lot, with 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms, 3 car garage, a pool, and a lot of yard for all the activities. On the lower end of the spectrum, you have a $212,000 condo that's a little over 1,000 square feet of living space. It's 2 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, and assigned parking. The local Whitney Ranch Recreation Center offers residents a cost-effective alternative to gym memberships, with complimentary access to fitness facilities. The community is also enriched by extensive walking trails, parks, and recreational and aquatic centers, fostering a sense of community and compensating for the smaller lot sizes. What do you think about this community so far? Would you live here? Leave your comments section in the sections below. Or was the airplane noise too much for you? Now, as promised, here are my pros and cons, in my opinion, about Whitney Ranch. We will start with the cons because I hate hearing bad news last. Con number 1, the traffic here can get congested during traffic hours. And even on the weekends, with the maturity of this community and all the convenient retail in the area, it can get a bit backed up. Con number 2, outdated homes. Again, with the maturity of this community, a lot of the homes that go on the market need to be updated for people moving into new homes. They want a turnkey. They don't want to have to go through and update everything. So some of these homes, are just old. Con number 3, flight path. With Las Vegas being such a tourist town and growing by the day, planes fly in and out from 5 a.m. to midnight, and this can be annoying to some, but then again, like any constant noise, it becomes white noise. It might rock you to sleep. Con number 4, the bad rap it gets when you tell ignorant people you live in Whitney Ranch and they don't know anything about the area. They're like, hey, you live on the east side. Well, it is what it is. That's why they sell $2 million homes plus in Whitney Ranch. I don't know. Con number 5, Whitney Ranch is situated adjacent to Boulder Highway. And if you aren't familiar with it or are, At times, it can seem a little sketchy. This area currently is in its initial phases of being regentrified. This transformation process is expected to take some time to fully develop and enhance the area's appeal, but it'll happen sooner or later. That's all I got for the cons. Now here are the pros. Pro number 1, location. It's about 10 to 15 minutes from the airport with easy access to the 515 and 215 freeways. If you take the back roads, you can get to any part of the strip or downtown Las Vegas within 15 to 20 minutes. That's not during traffic hour, of course. Pro number 2, education. The education options in the area are abundant. The most I've seen anywhere in Las Vegas or Henderson. Pro number 3, convenience to all the amenities. Anything you need is within the neighborhood, within a very short drive, and if you want to do some therapy shopping, there's the district at Green Valley Ranch that's about a 10-minute drive. Pro number 4, charm. With this community being as mature as it is and the diversity in the area, there are an abundance of family-owned shops and restaurants that have been there for decades, as well as the luxury enclaves that you would never guess would be there unless you knew about them. Pro number 5, the Mesa. This is one of my hands down favorite places after discovering it, to hike, run, watch the sunrise, sunset, or just to be at peace. It's a great little park. Pro number 6, the cost of living. Not only do you get a little bit more real estate for your dollar, but the local businesses also compared to the new communities are significantly less. For example, there's a little deli I go to by the gym that I frequent where I get a smoothie afterwards. It's only around $6 compared to getting a smoothie in the newer communities, which will cost you over 10 or 10 at the very least. Pro number 7, it's an underrated community to the negative assumptions of the area. Not many seek this area due to the lack of knowledge and hearsay by the ignorance of their peers, like sheep being led astray. Wrapping up our exploration of Whitney Ranch, it's clear that this underrated community has much to offer. So look, we got affordable living, fantastic amenities, prime location, make it a hidden gem waiting to be discovered. Just be sure to weigh the cons as well if you decide to move here. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay curious and keep exploring. I'll see you guys on the next one.